Hi guys, welcome back to 24 Days of Comfort. This is a casual tea time check-in every day until Christmas, where we just take it easy, we hang out, and we chill. So let's do a tiny cozy check-in if you want to. C is for getting comfortable, so relaxing into your seat, just making any adjustments you might need to. I'm gonna go crisscross applesauce on my chair. And then oxygen. Let's take a deep breath together if you want to. We're going to do 2 inhales, 1 big sip, 1 small sip. Hold at the top and then exhale with a bit of contraction on the throat, which is a physiological sigh. So whenever you're ready, let's inhale. And you could take more if you want to. I'm going to leave it at this. And then see if you can unclench your jaw, drop your shoulders, 0 tension, really relaxing. And then is there anything that you want? This is your you time. Do you want a hot drink? Do you want to put your phone on Do Not Disturb? Maybe you want to do a craft as well. And then when you are ready, let's get into it. Hi, I'm Fleur, by the way. Thank you so much for being here. Today I want to do a little DIY with you. I've got 2 cameras today, which is fancy. I have been really into making bag charms, chains, and I want to make one. And I thought we could do it together. It's kind of like a draw with me, paint with me, read with me. Just we're hanging out. I am going to be talking, but just as it comes up, and I'll put some music in the background so you can just chill. These are the keychains, bag charms that I made. I got all of these materials from the thrift store. They are all made from thrifted necklaces, only the hardware, I don't know how to call it, but the actual keychain itself, that is from an online store, and then this is all thrifted jewelry. So I got these wooden beads, this is with silver details. And then this is also from a vintage necklace or a thrifted necklace. There was a suede thing that had all these charms and I was like, this is perfect. So I have a little star / sun, and I have a little Buddha, and then I have these stones, and then this little bear, which I think is adorable. And it cost me practically nothing. And it was so fun to make. And it was so fun to thrift with this in mind of like, I want necklaces to do crafts with. This was from like a gemstone necklace that I'd bought a couple of years ago that I still had. I'm loving it. And I love these sounds. I mean, I do make ASMR, so you get me at the sounds. And then this one I'm not fully content with, but this is a little bit of rose quartz and then a wooden bead and then this long piece of suede. I think I want to cut this and actually add more here so that it becomes a little bit more fluffy, but I haven't decided yet, so I'm gonna let it rest. And then these are with gold details for on my bags with gold things, and then this is for my bag with silver. And so here's a bag. This belonged to my grandma and I got one of her scarves on there, but then with the charm. This is so cute. And now it looks very fancy, but this all cost me nothing because this is inherited from my grandma. This as well. And this is from the thrift store. Okay, maybe it cost me like 30 cents. Pretty good. So I highly recommend doing this, even if you want a last minute DIY gift idea. It doesn't take that much time to make, and thrifting the pieces is so much fun, so sustainable, and yeah, I've been having a lot of fun doing this. I did also order a couple things on Vinted, so I think that this was a necklace, was from Vinted. And then I also got this bag of wooden beads from Vinted. I will put the account in the description box because it was a user who sold a lot of jewelry, vintage jewelry, and I love that. And then I also have this little container. Me doing ASMR. This little container held body lotion. It was from Mario Badescu. It was this coconut body butter. And it was really good, and I finished the product. And then this morning I was looking around my room like, where am I gonna put all these beads. I don't have a place for them, and then this was on my desk because I wanted to throw out the container. I was like, wait a minute. So I got all the charms here. There's so much in here, and then also under that are more wooden beads that I got from a thrifted necklace. So I've got beads for days, and I'm excited to get crafty. So grab your craft and let's go. The tea that I'm drinking today, day 8 from my Puka tea advent calendar, is 3 gingers. So there's 3 kinds of ginger, I think. Let me look it up. A warming swirl of ginger, galangal, and golden turmeric. Again, the galangal is making a return, and the ginger is making a return. I'm going to say it's officially confirmed that we are on a flavor journey because there are recurring flavors, which might just be a general thing with herbal teas that all the flavors blend together, but it feels like we're going somewhere. I'm very excited about this. This needs to sit for a little bit longer. But okay, let me grab my stuff. So I have these things for the keychain, so like a key ring and these little clasps. Like, it's not a carabiner. I don't think that this is called a carabiner, but I'm not sure. And I have some tools here. I have these tweezers and then these. They feel quite handy. What else? And then I also have thread. I have this stuff, this metal stuff, and then the stretchy nylon cord. And then here's the rest of like the wooden beads and from the crystal necklace. So I might use some of this and kind of make a version of the one that I'd already made. So some version of this maybe. I might want to use some thicker beads. I would love to actually make one with the really big beads with the bluey tone. So I think I'm gonna lay out a little bit of a design and then see what I want to do. When I was younger, I used to do a lot of crafts like this, like making jewelry and stuff, and I remember having one of those, it felt a little velvety plateaus where you could make necklaces of different lengths and you can put your little beads into little parts of the thing. I don't know, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. And I used to have all the things that I would need to make jewelry, but then also years ago I got rid of so much because I was not using it anymore. And while I'm all about decluttering and getting rid of things, sometimes that bites me in the ass years later. I feel like there's a fine line between hoarding and then actually being smart about not throwing things away too quickly, but you know, it happens. We've got the bigger ones. And we've got some lighter ones. These also have these fun little rectangle things. And my favorite type would be this. I don't really know how to use it yet. Maybe with the suede, that would be cool. But I'll have to see. I'm not gonna do that now. It's gonna take up too much brain power, and I'm also too conscious of the fact that I'm filming. I might use this though. I don't know. So it's gonna be silver, brown, and this, and then I also have the little ones, the little things. I also have these little clasps. I ordered some in gold as well that don't have a little thing at the end. I know no English, I'm very sorry. Little ring at the end, I guess, so that you can put a little charm on it. Like here I use these. The gold ones don't have that, but it will give me a lot more peace of mind to finish off the keychain with that, because right now there's just a little tie at the end. And I'm just afraid of them falling down, and I don't want that. So yeah, okay. I need to calm down because I'm like a little overstimulated by having cameras and talking and crafting and I need another breath. Okay. What do I want? Good question. Good question. I also have tiny little silver beads that could be cute to have as filler and to tie back in a little bit of that silver. So I'm just gonna grab a couple. The issue is that my thread is quite thick, so I can't go in and out. Like I can't go into a bead multiple times. This does not sound properly. I did not say that properly, but I hope you know what I mean. Can I tell you a story about my morning? I was trying to sell a guitar on Marketplace, and someone had offered an amount of money that was quite far below the price that I wanted for it. But I felt a little desperate because I could, use the money. And I was like, okay, well, I got this one offer, so let's just go ahead. And then last night I went ahead with it, and I changed my mind because the guitar has sentimental value. So I really want to give it to a friend at least if I'm going to sell it for a lower price. And I know that a friend of mine might be interested, but I don't know, I just started feeling really bad about it in the morning, but then I had already kind of, told this person he could pick it up, and I gave him my address. So then, 3-ish hours before it was supposed to be here, I sent a message. The Netherlands is quite small. You can get here from anywhere in the country within those 3 hours, okay? So it wasn't like this person was already on the way, but they didn't see my message in time. And so they drove over here. But I was home alone, and it was a man, and Marketplace freaks me out. So I'm not super proud of admitting this, but I did do it for my own safety because I just really didn't know how this was going to go over. But I pretended to not be home. I put a note on the door though, because I sent this person 2 messages. One was like, hey, blah, 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 decided on not selling you the guitar. And the second one was, did you get my message? Apparently they didn't, see it on time, and they drove all this way. So I was already afraid that, sorry, I had to put on some lip balm. This is by Florence, by Millie Bobby Brown. I got this a couple of years ago, and it colors with your pH. I don't know, it was the top of my drawer. Anyway, long story long, I felt very bad about letting this person come here, so I put a note on the door, and I put a tiny little chocolate bar on it, and I was like, hey, I am really sorry, just in case you didn't see my message on time. I'm not home now. I'm really sorry about this, blah, 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 something like that. And then I hid upstairs, just because, I can handle conflict. I don't like conflict. I do tend to avoid it, but having a man come to the house and me being alone and having to disappoint and this person driving for nothing, I it's a stranger. I know I don't have to defend myself to you, but I felt weird about it. It's not my preferred thing to do, to hide in my own home to avoid something, but I just didn't want to end up in any creepy situations. So of course, after a while I got messages and he was really pissed off, which is very understandable, but I did really send the message on time. I could have just read it, checked the messages. I also didn't have this person's number, so I couldn't, I tried to find other ways to reach them and I couldn't. So that was sad. I think I'm gonna do just one row, by the way. So yeah, that was my story. That was my morning. Great. Then I always feel super guilty about all that. I feel like I want to start with a larger bead again. I also did that on the other ones just because it hides this little part. Then I don't love that. What if I start with a really big one? Does it look different? This could be cool, and then maybe we can split here, or I just keep going with this. I'm just gonna keep going for a little while and we'll see where we go. But yeah, that happened, and it freaked me out a little bit. Also, I was considering, because this person was like, sorry buys me nothing, I drove all this way, blah blah blah, which makes perfect sense. If it was the other way around, I also would have been pissed off. But I also wasn't offering to like cover the travel costs, because I really don't know what type of person this is. I was very confused. First he said that the guitar was a gift for his sister, which was why it was pretty below my asking price, and then, you know, you get me at the goodwill and wanting to do something for a family member, you know. So I was like, alright. And then I saw his profile as well this morning, and it was like all his previous ads. You can't see the ads, but in the reviews you can see what type of item the person bought, and it was all guitars. So I started to feel like this person was just buying guitars at a low price to sell them, you know, online. And that just didn't feel right. I was like, I don't think you actually want to buy that guitar for your sister. I mean, who am I to judge? But from what I'm seeing, this is looking a little weird. So, yeah. Anyway, now I really hope that my friend will want the guitar. And otherwise I will keep it for a while. It does need some new strings. I haven't played it in a while. But as I was cleaning it and tuning it, I was like, it's a good guitar. It's a good guitar, just don't play it enough, and then I feel a little sad about things collecting dust, you know, here, and I don't want to just accumulate things and whatever, but I would just rather have it go to a home of someone I know and trust and love. Not that after I get rid of it, it has anything to do with me, but the guitar does have some sentimental value, so I don't know, it just feels a bit better, I guess. So yeah, I really don't like Marketplace. People are really scary on there. Oh, we kind of already did something. I kind of like this. I think it's cute. Wait. That's sweet. How do I end this one though? I might do a smaller beads. I don't know. I really have to relearn how to do all of this, especially with the ending of the keychains. I might do this, and then should I do a charm? I don't know, it feels weird if this ends smaller than what it began with. So maybe I should do 2 smaller ones here at the beginning as well. Take this out, and then it'll be more symmetrical. I'm gonna do that. I am in no rush. Oh god, I hope I remember the order. Okay, tiny bead. Oh, but then we get the whole issue with the thing again. Okay, well, I'm just gonna kind of maneuver it in, if I can. That would be great. How do people do this? Oh, that worked. Okay, it's on. It's on. I don't even know if this camera angle is working because I really can't see what I'm filming from up there. Sorry if it looks terrible. I'm also trying to do everything kind of in the middle so you can see it, but I don't know. Okay, and then we do the really big one. Then we go back to this. Do you also get this feeling when you have a hobby and you get really excited about it that you start thinking about monetizing the hobby. Do you ever have that? Because I have that with every single freaking thing that I do, that I end up thinking, well, what if I turn it into a job? It's not great to think that with everything. It's pretty exhausting. Just enjoying something to enjoy it. I do this to just enjoy it, and I have other hobbies that I do just to enjoy it, but I'm also always thinking about other options. And I'm thinking about the possibilities of monetizing it. Maybe that's just what it's like to have a creative brain. But yeah. It never ends. I really don't remember what I did before, so we're just winging it. Okay, I think it'll be cute, but we're gonna get rid of this one. I also did not include the silver beads. We'll have to see about those. You know, I was a little bit conflicted about filming this because I was like, but what if I want to listen to music while I'm doing this? Which now I can't because I'll get demonetized. And I would lose out on my €2 that I make per video. We can't have that. But I kind of like the quiet time. Okay, this is going pretty well. We're almost done. Okay. I think what I'm going to do now is get one of those little clasps that I have here and put it on the end, and then look through the charms to see if I want to hang anything on there. But this is gonna make a great ASMR video. Looks a little bit like a slug, but I think that the little accent is nice. And you can add this as well to charms that you already have, I guess. Maybe, would this look cute with gold? I can make a gold one as well, probably. Okay. Don't fall apart. Okay, I'm gonna grab one of those. These are really lifesavers. They make everything easier. And then I grab these tweezing tools that I got from my dad. Or I stole from him, he doesn't know that I borrowed them. And then normally I have smaller ones for this, but I couldn't find them. So. And then I think we're good. I love the sound of this. ASMR, I love it. Okay, so this is where we're at. Should I make jewelry? See, that's how it goes. Okay, we're gonna look through these. I have some still on the suede thing, but that's alright. Maybe we do just one. This one could be cute. It's an orangey. But I'm also, I don't know, I'm a little bit hesitant because we could do this and attach it to the bottom, but I feel like it's a little bit random. So I feel like you either need something that kind of goes out a little or keep it like this and just have a really simple chain. I don't know. Oh God. Let me look at it together. Or do I go around? I could also go around. Wait, why is that kind of cute? It's not even when I do this though. Okay, next one I should make a circle. That's I'm not gonna do it, but that would be fun. Okay, so we know that we can play around with shape next time. That's adorable, but we're gonna leave this as is. I kind of want something with color at the bottom, I think. Or like I have this orange, but this is a little bit too kitschy for me. I don't... No. No. I also have this one. I think I'm gonna leave it as is. And then, yeah, I'm gonna leave it. Should I try to make it round? Is that more cute? I think it's also too random with this hanging out here. I think I like it better like this, and we can make other stuff to combine it with. So what I am gonna do is curl up this little ring at the end so that it is closed off. So I'm kind of pushing it, folding it with the edge of the tweezer things. I'm gonna have to look up how to pronounce all of this. Or you can tell me in the comments. Okay, folding it over and smoothing. Okay, great. Yeah, I think this was the right choice. This looks better. But the end, does it look like an appendix? It could be. I don't know. I'll just see how I feel about it. I think that it will be cute with... I'm gonna put it on my bag. We have to see it as a whole, probably. See, look, like this is cute. I like it. I like this. And then adding this. Who's this girl? Who's this fancy girl? I love it. I'm gonna make a thumbnail while you're here. You have to witness this. It's very awkward. Okay. Alright, now I have to go clean all of this up. So I really enjoy doing this. Look, this is like a 30-minute task, which is great. I love a quick DIY. I love having results from something that you did, not an endless project. You need a balance. That's what life's all about. I actually think I'm gonna make more for my friends for Christmas. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Let me know which keychain is your favorite. We've got number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Let me know. I think that my personal favorite is still number 1 because these pearly beads are gorgeous. Anyway, let me know, and if you crafted something, let me know what you did. If you want to see more of these videos, also let me know. We can also do journal with me's, draw with me's, yada yada yada, color with me's. I ordered Anna Laura Art's new coloring book. I don't love all the cozy, like the ones that are everywhere. They're cute, but Anna Laura, she does watercolor art and posts it on Instagram, and all her messages are so uplifting. It's adorable, they're cute and very meaningful, and I wanted to support her, so I got a coloring book from her, which I'm excited about because I want to do something different in the morning that isn't journaling, but also going on a walk first thing in the morning when it's really bad weather out doesn't feel right to me. So I want to do something to still switch my brain off and be creative. So I might try coloring in the morning. Just a little bit, you know? Anyway, I'm gonna put these away. Thank you so much for spending time with me. Here is a forehead kiss, and I will gladly see you tomorrow.